So we've just arrived at the ropes course in the morning, and we need to do a routine visual inspection. So we're going to talk through that now. So when we arrived, the gate was locked, which is a really good sign. So the first thing we're going to do is have a look around and just make sure there's no obvious sort of forced entry, unauthorised entry through the fences. Next thing we're going to do is walk along. So we've got 4 guy wires that come off this course. So we're going to go and inspect each one. So this site's really good. So we can see straight away on the bottle screws that we've got this permanent marker pen line. So I know straight away that there's been no movement in this screw. We're just going to slide this plastic cover up as far as we can and just visually make sure there's no obvious damage to the wire. Remember, it is a visual inspection and quite often it's conducted by instructors, so not fully qualified inspectors. So same thing, just checking those movement markers. There's one on the bottom as well. Lifting this cover up. We've got 2 on the back, so we're going to do those now. As I'm walking across, I'm just going to have a look at the ground anchors, make sure they're as I would expect. There's no sort of movement in the ground or gravel around. There's not one missing or damaged. I've got the same ground anchors on this side, so I've got 2 here for the Jacobs and then 3 at that end. So again, just making sure they're as expected. Again, there's no movement. Have a little look at this tree. So, you know, with modern sort of weather forecasting, we're going to know if there's been storms or high winds. So I will have a little look to make sure there's no dead wood or anything like that. Same thing, lift this up, little check of the cable, identify my movement markers. They're all okay, they haven't moved. And then we've just got one more. The same thing with the grounder here, just making sure there's no sort of there's no movement in the ground. There's not, you know, there's not been any harsh rain that's caused any flooding. The final thing I'm going to do is have a little look at the course. So I'm just going to visually check the bottom of the elements, make sure they are as I would expect to find them. So these get left up. So the chains all look intact. All the tracers are in place. There's none that have been caught in the wind or there's none that have been pulled down. Have a little look at my SRBs at the top. I've got 2 main structural poles, again, just visually looking. They both look within the parameters of upright. I can see the guy wires are attached. My access wire is as I would expect it. So I always say to people, you know, if you come down, if you take a picture in your mind of what it should look like, you know, if you come down with the management team, have a picture in your mind of what it should look like, and then when you arrive in the morning, you know if anything's different. And then lastly, if I was going to be using the crate stack that day, I just have a visual inspection of the crates as well, just sort of include it in the course, and then quite often, you know, there's a bit of paperwork or form to sign to say that I'm happy to use it.